Ramble.
Thank you to Athletic Greens and Lume for sponsoring today's episode.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of You Can Sit With Us. I'm one of your hosts, Becky, and I'm joined by Margaret.
Hello.
Matthew.
Hello.
And Rainie on the ones and twos.
Hello.
And threes
Hey,
and
Ray,
fours.
Ray.
Hey.
You guys were super excited because we'll have to tell you how this came to fruition. Guilty Pleasures did a Tucci month, and we thought it was a really good idea, so we were like, let's steal it. And
Tucci was taken.
Tucci was taken. They already did it. So we picked the next best thing to Tucci, which is sex.
Yes.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Everyone wants to talk about sex. Maybe. Is that how it goes?
I have no idea, but that sounded good.
Today's
That
how it
sounded
goes.
good.
Today's
So
how it
we're
goes.
actually going to have like a whole sex series coming out. This is the first of many.
So sexual, Becky. Oh my God.
So sexual. We're going to have
So
guests
sexual.
come on and chit chat. We're going to have a doctor come on and chit chat.
Doctor.
It's going to be fun.
Wow.
Are you
Wow.
excited, Mad Maggie?
Wow.
I'm
Are
so
you excited?
excited.
I'm so excited because, Margaret and I are just so innocent. So I really am
Yeah.
excited for Becky just to tell us exactly how everything works.
I know. Maggie just got married, so she was a virgin up until that point.
Yes.
And Matt obviously still is a virgin.
'Cause,
Not married.
So
Yeah.
when two people, did you guys ever get a birds and the bees talk from your parents?
Yes, my mom did. Yeah.
So did you already know about the birds and the bees before your mom intercepted you?
I feel like yes.
Okay.
Because kids talk about it at school and stuff.
Yeah.
But my mom used to work in a doctor's office, so she brought pamphlets.
Oh.
And I remember we sat
that mom.
on the bed.
Okay.
We sat on the bed, and my mom brought all these pamphlets and talked through everything, and it was really
Information.
uncomfortable.
Were you like, I don't want to see these vaginas?
Yeah, I do not want to see this at all.
You're like,
Thanks, Mom. Bye.
NA, not applicable.
And she would leave them for me, and then I don't even know what happened. I think I never looked at them ever again.
How old you were?
I'd be 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
6th grade.
I thought you were going to say 6 years
Yeah.
old.
I
was like, wow.
Aggressive. Like kids know what's
Yeah.
up.
Why did your parents ever?
Yeah. Did you get
To
a birds and
Magali,
bees?
be like, yo.
My
your
mom worked
sister?
at the public health care agency, so she was open to talking about it. But my sister was the actual one who,
Andrea.
I
Oh
was
my gosh, Andrea.
we had a plum tree in our backyard, and it was just always fruiting, especially in certain parts of the year. And I remember playing with the plum and knocking it back and forth, and at the breakfast table. And my sister's like, "Ew, do you know what you're doing?" And I was like,
Maggie was the inspiration for Call Me By Your Name.
I was
but it
like,
was a plum instead of a peach.
What? I know. I saw that after that, and I was just playing with it with my finger, and then I'd peel it apart and take out the pit and stuff. And my sister would be like, "Ew, do you know what you're doing?" And I had no idea. I thought she was making it up, and then she told me, she's like, "That is how babies are made."
Wait, with
plums.
With plums.
What you're doing is what you're doing with your finger and sticking it into the plum and playing with it. It reminds me a lot of how babies are made. And I was
How
like,
did she learn? Did your mom talk to her?
I have no idea. Andrea was always just very advanced.
The internet.
The internet. She's read a lot.
Yeah.
She's also 3 years older than me, so that's a lot of time when you're a child.
Yeah.
And I was shook. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I ran to my mom and I was like, Andrea told me this really disturbing thing. That really disturbed me.
What did Magali say?
Really disturbed me.
And my mom was like, actually, yeah, that is what happens. And I was like, ow, that sounds like it hurts.
Yeah.
And then she gave me that American Girl doll book that I've talked about on the podcast before, but it was just
Yeah.
she's like, here you go. You can read about the changes and your body. And here's this book. And
Cambiamentos.
yeah. And
were you guys down for puberty? Because I was anti. I was like, don't change.
I
My
was
body should not change.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. As things were
I don't
changing.
remember. I don't remember.
I remember my first, you don't remember your first pube? I was like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah. I was like, I don't like this.
remember.
I don't like
Stay
this.
with me.
Yeah.
Did not stay with me in the way.
And I remember when my little sister, my youngest sister, she started changing, and I was like, oh my God, you're changing too? Which was also
changes.
Yeah, it's kind of wait, you're a baby.
you're a baby.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah.
No more.
So what did Kim sat you down?
No, literally
Dawn sat
never.
you down.
No,
No one
I
sat you
would
down?
like. We would have all blushed way too hard. My parents were very good because my brother and I were so close in age, right? We took baths together all the time. So like, my parents were very specific about like, you have a vagina, your brother has a penis, and like giving us the anatomical words or the anatomy things.
Yeah.
But no, there was no sit down,
Right.
chat about sex, talk. And then I think the first time my mom ever even like really spoke to me about sex was when I got a UTI.
Oh man.
She was like, if you don't pee after sex, you get UTIs. And I was like, Mother, Mother.
Good advice.
Yeah, right.
Good advice.
But yeah, there was no sit down.
So who told you?
I don't know, probably the internet or my brother. I mean, we also went to CCD, so it was very like abstinence only. Like I've talked about the book my brother got that was about how masturbation's a no. But good thing girls don't masturbate. Good thing it just went to the boys. No, it must have been. It was probably just like in books and stuff like that, and
class.
media,
Movies.
Health class.
I remember health class was horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but we did have like. I mean, I went to public school, but it was still abstinence only.
Yeah.
Education.
That's crazy for
Yeah.
It was abstinence only, obviously, because I went to religious school, and all I remember from that is watching a very scary video of a woman giving birth for the
Isn't
first
it Miracle
time.
Life?
Miracle
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
The Miracle
We
of
watched
Life.
that too. It was creepy.
Yeah, and then we got to see like different STDs.
Like, what do you mean see them?
You saw pictures. Like
Yeah,
they
like
showed
the
you genitalia with like
Oh no.
chlamydia. They're like, this is what chlamydia looks like. And
Yeah.
you're like, ugh.
Like very
If you ever have it, this is what it looks like.
Yeah,
scary,
right?
scare tactic approach.
Yeah. Which is also crazy because there were like 3 or 4 girls in my class that got pregnant.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, why didn't you just hand out condoms?
Yeah.
Just-
Oh.
I'm like,
No condoms, no.
why didn't you just talk about condoms or birth
Contraceptives.
control?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need better education. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the same thing with like drugs though in school. I remember those talks more.
Oh my God.
Like
Those
the
were
dare
scary.
officer would bring in like what all the drugs looked like.
Really?
Stuff.
They let
we
you
had,
try
like, a
them.
big board. Yeah, we
They were
tried
like, this
them
is
all.
meth. Here you go.
You had like a big board, and they were like little packages of all the drugs, so you could like see what each one looked like, and then he would like tell you like what it does and how it like messes you up and
How to best party with it.
how not to do it, Becky. How not to do it.
We had a really scary, it was the cops came in and they had these cars. So first they let us drive around like we were drunk, like with like little goggles on and these golf carts. But then they put us in this room and they showed us these videos that were hyper realistic, like accident videos.
Oh my God.
Like they were commercials. Some of them were shown from different countries.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, this is Judy. And today Judy's going to hit all her friends so hard that they die. And the video is the girl is in the backseat
Hitting
without her seatbelt on.
Oh,
and they're
that is
coming
so
back
good.
from a party and they show a slow motion accident and her going around and basically ping-ponging around this car. Again, hyper realistic.
No.
So you're seeing like blood and guts and all these horrible things. It was
What happened?
terrifying.
You gotta wear your seatbelt, Becky.
You gotta wear your seatbelt.
Gotta
I
wear
wear my seatbelt. This was, how many? I was 16 when I
drunk
watched
driving.
this video. I still
Yeah.
remember.
I mean, it obvioally the scare tactic does work a little
It
bit.
did
at
work a
least.
little bit. I was definitely scared straight.
Yeah. Scared straight.
That's what we did in health class too.
Scared straight in
We were
health class.
scared straight in health class.
No, I remember my mom would show my sister and I like photos of people's kids that were born, like people who were drug addicts and had kids, and be like, this is what happens to you when you do drugs. This is what happens to your kids if you do drugs. This is how they'll turn out.
Did your mom have
scary for me.
pamphlets for Katie the way that she had them for you?
I don't know. I never asked. I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Call her.
But I don't know.
Call her right now.
Call her right now and
right
ask
now.
about it.
Did mom give you sex pamphlets?
Did your health class have anything about gay sex?
No.
Yeah, neither did
Nothing.
ours.
No.
Nothing.
Zero. Did not exist.
No. Gay people didn't exist.
Gay people did not exist when
No.
I was in high school.
No. Not according to the public education system.
According to the Chicago public school system.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. Wait, so when did you figure out what sex was? Becky doesn't. Oh, you don't remember either.
I don't really remember either.
Yeah.
I don't remember like a defining moment where I was like,
No.
sex, but it had to have been like movies.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was in the media, like
Yeah.
on the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Titanic.
Titanic.
Oh, Titanic
The
was your
Notebook.
sex ed? The Notebook.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Where the heart is. Natalie Portman giving birth in a Walmart was my
Yeah,
sex
right?
ed.
I'm just trying to think of other movies where there's like explicit sex scenes like that. You know? Like
I always
Titanic.
remember, I think I talked about this before, but going to see The Watchmen with my dad. There's a pretty like explicit sex scene, and I was just like, I think my dad like put his hand over my eyes, and I was like probably 17. But I was like,
That's funny.
correctly, I don't want to be here watching this with you.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any like advice from like older friends? Like, okay, this is what to expect. Like, did you have any kind of talking to around that? You just went in cold? You were like, well,
in
we'll
blind.
find out.
Went in blind.
When in blind.
It's like, we'll figure it out.
What? I mean, because you're just like a couple months younger than us, Rainie.
Right.
So like, what was the education like when you were coming of age?
And you're from Colorado, so
Yeah,
so that's
so
like
very
you're like a more
progressive.
progressive place than where we all grew up.
Yeah, well, I feel like I was also just like such a late bloomer that everything was like, there was stuff going on that I just like really was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea. Like I remember we were doing these the rockets, like building rockets in physics, and like there was like an outside piece of paper around the rocket, and people were going like this, obviously, and the teacher was like, stop doing that, and I was like, I don't
made it
really
weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's the one who sexualized it.
I think the boys in the class were doing it like explicitly, but I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, and I did it just because I was like needed to do it for like the class for some reason, and my partner was like, Rainie, you have to stop doing that, and I was like, what is this? Like, what are you talking about? But I feel like for sex ed, like similarly, like I was just like, I remember like they gave us like wooden penises and like to put the condom on, and everybody was like,
That's
They never did that for
progressive.
us.
We didn't get that.
yeah. Well, I know that like it was like, oh, Courtney knows how to do it really well, stuff like that, you know?
Oh my god! So there was like slut shaming in your sex ed, because I think what we had was health.
had
is what they
health.
would have called it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like
yeah.
there's a section on sexual
ed, yeah.
health,
Yeah.
but not like an actual class that talked about
like condoms.
This
and,
is
like,
how
No,
sex
they never
works.
talked about- did not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was definitely also a lean towards it. Was like, but I have to tell you to like legally, I have to say do abstinence, but just so you know,
Yeah.
this is like if you want a condom, here it is, sort of.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good way for
I
a
mean,
teacher.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then what about birth control? Did you have any kind of like talking to about it? Or were you just like,
Matt's been on the pill for
Yeah, I was on the pill
Still on the
for
pill, Becky, okay.
year. Well, my mom made me go and get pap smears and go on birth control even before I was sexually active. Just being, I don't know,
just safety first.
safety first. Being a Latin mother, she was like, I was like, Mom, I'm not even having sex. And I even told the doctor, I was like, I'm not even having sex yet. And they were like, I don't believe you. You still have to do it.
I don't believe you.
I was like, I'm not. She's like, well, she was just always very proactive.
She's like, you will. So you're
Working at
ready.
a healthcare agency too. She's like,
Yeah.
you are absolutely up to date on all your vaccines. Like as soon as the flu shot's available, you're like there.
Oh, yeah.
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 She was always very proactive
Yeah.
with all of us. So like
Yeah.
once my older sister started going, maybe like a year passed, even though there was a 3-year difference. She's
Yeah.
like, Maggie's next year, go.
Go. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But the pill can sort of like, it messed me up kind of. It like really changed the chemistry and I didn't like it.
I went on birth control when I was 16, I think.
Yeah.
Because I actually just didn't get periods.
Oh.
I got like maybe 1 or 2 periods a year.
Yeah.
And like then I got a period that like lasted like 3 months. And my mom was like, something's wrong. We should go like talk to a doctor. And that's when I went on the pill. And my mom was the opposite of your mom, where it was like, this does not mean you can have sex. She's like, you're on this for your health, but not because you're having sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But I do remember when the HPV vaccine came out,
Oh yeah.
because it wasn't covered by insurance when it first came out. And so my mom was like, you know, dead ass, you have to tell me right now, are you having sex or not? Because this is going to cost us a lot of money for you to get this vaccine, which you should get if you're having sex. But if you promise you're not having sex, you don't need to do it.
Oh.
And I was like, because it was like 3 or 4 shots at the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got it. It hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out when I was like maybe 15 or 16. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of when you hear 1960s sex advice?
Vanilla.
To me, I think it's like only for the woman.
Oh,
Right?
100%.
And it's probably a man probably wrote it. But like, what would you imagine their advice would be?
I think it was probably something like, don't be loose and easy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was probably like, only loose women, show men their breasts.
Do you think it's going to be more sex advice or more like beauty advice? Like, make sure your hair is always perfectly curled. Or
Maybe a mix of both.
Yeah.
I think both. I think no explicit
Always have a
sex.
martini ready.
Yeah, I feel like no explicit sex advice.
Yeah. And it's like
Well, we're gonna
for
find
child
out.
rearing purposes mainly.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I love my Lumi deodorant. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who discovered and proved in clinical testing that the vagina is not to blame for day-to-day odor below the belt. So she developed Lumi, a uniquely formulated pH-balanced deodorant. It's aluminum-free, skin-safe, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. New customers get $5 off Lumi's starter pack with code SITWITHUS at lumideodorant.com. I love that I can throw Lumi in my purse. I love that it comes in like a cream form. They have deodorant. They have body wipes.
It's a whole body deodorant, the first of its kind. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code SITWITHUS at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code SITWITHUS.
As I approach my birthday this year, I really want to focus on wellness as part of my daily routine. In true Virgo fashion, I'm all in on finding the fastest and best solution. Our next partner is AG1, the daily foundational nutritional supplement that supports whole body health. I gave AG1 a try because it's easy to use and seamlessly fits into my morning routine. I just add a scoop every morning to my after workout smoothie. It has whole body health support. It's a multivitamin, probiotic, and more, and has many benefits. It really helps with my energy, mental clarity, and overall feeling healthier. It has 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and whole food source ingredients in each scoop. If you want to take ownership of your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/sitwithus. That's drinkag1.com/sitwithus. Check it out.
What's our first advice, Matt?
Since you know him well enough by now to ask him for that last drink, you know him well enough to kick off your shoes and fall full length on the couch in simulated and possibly genuine exhaustion. He'll probably fall right alongside pal fashioned. This is generally effective in getting things started, but you do run the risk of his falling asleep beside you.
This is very
So these are almost like
it's
you know,
like
How to.
the song,
Yeah,
the
entrapment.
weather outside. It reminds me of that one. Like that's very like
fall down from exhaustion.
what's going on?
And he'll sit next to you pal-sided.
I'm also like, is that the vibe you want to give off before sex? It's like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I can barely stay awake.
Apparently. Have you ever pulled that?
I have not pulled the. I'm gonna lay down here and lay next
horizontal.
to me, pal. Let's pal around together.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, here's another one. Looking second sexiest gives you a couple of advantages.
Second.
So you don't want to be the hottest bitch
You don't
in
wanna be the
room.
hottest.
You want to be the second hottest.
Okay, I feel like I've heard that
Especially
before.
over the girl who looks sexiest. That girl, Irene, is going to look slightly out of place. She's going to make the boys feel slightly self-conscious about approaching her. Oh, they're turned on by the way she looks? All right. But a guy looks at Irene and knows if he picks tonight to make out with her, he's going to go through a lot of ribbing all next week.
Oh.
I think like guys like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you got with Irene last weekend, pal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't want to be too sexy so that
you wanna
the
be
guy you get with
relatable.
doesn't get
Made fun
made
of.
fun of for hooking up with you.
I see why women progress just so much in our country.
Yeah. So
Like what?
so do you ever try to look less beautiful?
No, but I feel like I have heard in those what's that one like dating book that talks about like negging and like peacocking? like
I have
the
no idea.
pickup artist or something like that.
yeah.
He like teaches guys how to get women. Yeah, it's a peacock. It is foul.
And it's all about bird talk. So.
But it's but it sounds kind of like that advice
Yes.
where it's like, yeah, like negging is when like a man will say like, oh, you look nice, but like I usually like skinnier women.
Yeah, it's like a backhanded.
It's a
thing.
backhanded,
So
yeah.
they're sort of chase. The idea is like, oh, then I want the whole thing. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is like similar advice of like, you should actually be the second sexiest because if you're the first sexiest, people are going to make fun of you.
Yeah, or just like, oh, it's too intimidating. Or
You're
something.
more approachable.
Yeah. More approachable. Yeah.
But it's also so like comparative.
Yeah, it's also
You know,
just
it's not about your
yeah.
own self. It's about how you compare to other people. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's not a healthy mindset.
You didn't even get a name. Only Irene got a name.
Yeah.
The hottest
You're
one.
nameless.
Irene
in
is
this
obviously the hottest.
scenario.
And then
Obviously.
you can try and be the second hottest.
They won't remember your name anyway. They'll only remember Irene's name.
Sounds exhausting. It
Matt, you
sounds too
have to read the next
calculated.
one.
Okay.
I just saw some things in quotes that I love.
Okay, perfect. How boys can avoid the temptation to have sex.
Oh,
Don't sit around and read junk.
No, you skipped one.
Oh, I
The
skipped
one
one.
above that. Don't skip the funny one.
Sorry. Okay, rewind. What can happen if necking leads to petting? Petting can make you feel guilty and ashamed.
oh my God.
Ruin your reputation, cause you to lose your boyfriend because after he goes further than he knows he should, he may decide you're cheap. Lead to pregnancy, break your parents' hearts.
Oh my.
I love how they're not even full sentences. No petting.
No petting.
No
I feel like that
petting
is
allowed.
like old advice though that people were given of like why buy the milk if you can get the cow for free?
Right.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
I've heard that one before.
It is. It's like if you do that, he won't want you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then your reputation is lost.
This reminds me of like Greece or like Pleasantville vibes.
I mean, petting is just such a vulgar. I feel like that's like worse than like saying it.
You gotta pet the pussycat.
No petting of the pussycat for you.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, petting really tickles me.
What about necking?
Heavy petting.
Necking.
Necking.
I don't think I ever called it necking.
I don't think I've ever used the word. Used it.
It was in the Catcher in the Rye, and I thought they were just kissing each other's necks, and I was so confused
Is
for
that
like
what it is?
years.
What
I was
is it?
making out, but maybe it is
I
just.
feel like it is.
I thought it was
just-
just kind of kissing your neck.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I have no idea.
interesting. Hey
Getting all the
Siri.
It's fucking all those hickeys.
Yeah, that's how you get hickeys? Necking? No, I'm gonna look it up. Let's see
Yeah.
what necking is.
Yeah. By the way, my search history for prepping this is like people was like, you just okay.
Like, you're a dirty birdie.
I'm gonna tell Zach on the next Guilty Pleasures to go through everyone's search history and expose you.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're right, Rainie. It just means like kissing and caressing amorously.
I mean, that's what.
Amorously.
I just looked that up to prep for this.
Wow.
But for 10 years, I thought it was kissing your neck.
Until now.
And then you were like, no, it's not. And I was
33
like, oh,
years
it's
old.
not.
I've thought it was just kissing the necks.
Yeah, I did too. That's what I
Necking the whole body.
guess.
So this one is from Cosmo from the 60s, which, whoa.
What a time to be alive.
Don't fall into the trap of believing the smooth dancer isn't necessarily the best mate for you. Remember that successful marriages are based on various personality assets, such as consideration for others, dependability, and loyalty.
That's pretty good advice.
Yeah. Don't go after the peacock.
Don't go after the peacock.
Don't go after the peacock.
Sandy, or what's her name from West Side Story?
Yeah.
But isn't this also kind of the other side of the coin of don't look or be the best one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Go
Because it's
for
like,
the
oh,
second
don't be the best one because then people won't want you. And then they're telling you, oh, don't go for the best one. Go for the other one.
There's a real number 2 world we're living in with
Yeah.
the 1960s. They're like,
Right?
be second best.
It's too much
Yeah.
mind game. It's too
Yeah.
much. It's
I mean, a smooth
Right?
dancer, I think, is a good way of saying that
peacock.
guy. You know who the smooth dancer is. You've all
Smooth
had a smooth
operator.
dancer.
The smooth operator.
The smooth operator.
He's smooth danced with lots of ladies.
Smooth dancer.
Yeah.
Funny.
He knows how to operate.
Plenty.
Knows how to operate.
Yeah.
His feet.
Yeah, his feet
His feet.
and his neck.
Okay.
I mean, speaking of being this like second hottest, going down to the turning up the heat section, talking about how do you become hot?
How to
I feel
become
like
hot.
coming hot is like a mindset.
The mindset.
Right? Yeah, it's a
That's what
mindset.
hot people say, Matt.
Hot man in the room.
That's what hot people say.
Mindset. It's your energy, your energy field around you. You just have to fill it, exude it with hotness,
When was like a leap? When did you leap from like, when was your glow up for all of you guys?
In middle school, especially, I was pretty unfortunate.
Aren't we all though?
You were a baby.
I don't think anyone looks at their middle school photos and be like, yeah, I was hot.
And like part of high school. So it's probably like college, Once you become like adult sized.
Yeah. I got my braces off when I was 18, so probably then. I think those might have been a hindrance to my hotness. Having so much
I had
metal.
hindrance.
Right.
Yeah, I had braces, glasses. When I finally realized how to do my hair, I think that was like a turning point.
How do you do it?
What was your hair
Yeah.
before?
Oh, I just like would pull
Bangry?
everything back. I would have like baby hairs up the wing, yin yang.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to do it. It'd always just be in like a pony, and I didn't know how to style it. I didn't know how to do it.
What's your hair routine now?
I mean, I still air dry.
300 step.
Yeah, 300 step hair routine.
It's a wig.
I don't really do. I just know how to manage it better. I wouldn't say I do it every day.
It's like about like the deep condition.
I just feel more confident about it now
Yeah.
because I was just like a little mess, a little
yeah.
scragamuffin
Oh my gosh.
in middle school.
Yeah.
When I finally felt better about myself, I think that
Oh yeah.
changed the game. I wouldn't say that I was like the hottest person in the room, but I felt good about myself, and therefore,
Yeah. Yeah. People trust you. They're like, oh, you think you're hot, so I guess I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and growing up in the time we grew up, I feel like it was a lot about external validation.
Uh-huh.
It was like the minute
Yeah.
someone said you were hot, you're like, oh my God, I'm hot.
Hot shit.
It was
hot
that
shit.
early aughts kind of.
Yeah.
We were growing up with like really not good for our self-image magazines.
oh yeah,
and things like
Victoria's
that. So I
Secret.
don't know what's worse, the magazines that we had or like social media that kids have today.
Right, it's not great.
Because I'm like,
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like I was watching a Jubilee Middle Ground with like models and teenagers.
Oh.
I love Middle Ground. It's so good. Plug for Middle Ground on Jubilee. But they were talking about like the harm in seeing like a thin, like beautiful
Yeah.
woman on a billboard versus seeing someone who seems real or realistic on your phone in like an app. And like, who do you compare yourself to more? And some of the teens were saying, I compare myself more to
Oh, absolutely.
the people on the app than I
Yeah.
do with like
Right.
a model.
Right.
Like the aspiration
That's
isn't
true.
model anymore. It's like
No. Yeah.
images that you're getting on social media. So I feel like I would have been like really fucked up by that as a kid.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Although my TikTok feed is like tons of. I mean, you can kind of change the algorithm. So I've got a bunch of like self-love stuff, which is
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But it is sort of like I was talking to my friend about this. It's like you kind of have to have a social media hygiene. And I actually think that's like a learned skill. It's not natural, where you have to like manage your algorithm, which is a new thing, and nobody
Yeah.
talks about it.
More slap or kiss,
Wait, what'd you say?
More slap or kiss,
Slap or kiss?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like on TikTok.
Oh, slap or kiss. I obviously want
Your
more of
hygiene
that.
is all slap and kiss.
Just slap or kiss TikTok. That's
Slap or kiss
funny.
only. Okay, I asked the staff how they get hotter. So you guys can click the link.
Oh, staff
We
videos
asked the staff.
that nobody had to do. You know what I mean? This
No.
was-
They were enthusiastic.
They were enthusiastic.
Jack,
They were ready for it.
insisted on doing 3.
Oh my God, Jack really feeling himself. I love it.
Quickest way to be hotter?
Hit the play.
Good. Now, Jack?
Wear sunscreen.
Always just take a shower. Just take a new shower.
True.
Get your hair done.
Period.
I think being tan.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, because there's also black,
Take someone hot is when they put their arm around the passenger seat headrest and then they back up like this and they can parallel park in the first try.
Okay, Rachel won.
Whoa,
in
specific.
Third try?
Third try, third attempt. I would say just, I Have fun doing what you love to do, because I feel like fun equals attractive. But authentically fun. Not like fake fun, but like authentic.
Jack is really trying.
That's true. Jack is trying to be number one hot advice giver, but I do like what he said at the end about like being good at something, because I do feel like people who are good at things are hot. Like, you know, sometimes when you watch like America's Got Talent and you see someone like balancing like 8 chairs on their nose, like probably wouldn't have been a person that I thought was hot before, but then I see it and I'm like, wow, wow, you're good at that. That is attractive.
I feel like that's Keith coded. It's like chairs on your nose.
I saw it at a show once.
One of Keith's shows.
Yeah, no, but I do think, being excited about something and being interesting. That's just, it's like a synonym for interesting, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to have stuff going on, you know?
You've got to have stuff going on.
Yeah, because if you're just boring, you know, you don't have anything going on in your life to talk about.
Yeah.
How is someone going to want to
what are they going to talk to you about?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like you got to be funny too.
Oh, funny is like,
I feel like funny is like key.
Yeah.
I think you can be really hot and not funny, and you can be less hot and very funny. And I think less hot and very funny wins. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I think Kelsey mentioned that. She was like went on a date with someone that was like very hot, but like not funny.
Yeah.
And she was like, no dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been on a date with someone who was very good looking but boring.
Yeah.
So I would almost rather be more fun than good looking.
Oh,
absolutely.
Easy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you have to break up with him, or did he break up with you?
I mean, he was boring, so we just fizzled. It wasn't sorted in. It wasn't anything. I was just like,
ghosted.
I'm sorry.
I mean, how do you get more funny? Just surround yourself with less funny people so you look like you're the most funny one.
Oh, that's a 1960s like advice.
Matt's gonna start writing the advice. Be the second funniest person in the room.
Yeah.
No, you want to be the
more
most funniest
approachable.
one.
Yeah.
No, but then everyone's gonna know you were being funny with everyone else, and you're gonna get ripped.
But I feel like funny is different than being a smooth operator. You know.
I feel like I read Cosmo advice that's like been readapted, because it was like, if you want to like attract someone, be really nice to their friends, which is like kind of sounds like it's like within the same umbrella as like, don't be the most hot in the room.
No, but if somebody was really nice to my friends, I'd be like, me too. That's what I did too.
I love them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Would you rather have a smooth dancer or someone funny? Because I think like what Matt, you were saying, is they're very different. But they're both hot.
I think I'd rather have someone who's really funny.
Right, because dancer, you're only
They
dancing.
wear out.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like existing more than you are dancing. So I think I'd rather choose funny.
That's true.
There's more opportunities in everyday life to be funny than there is to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess if you wanted to have a really good first dance,
Yeah.
maybe you would want the good dancer.
But you can always buy dance classes, you know?
I don't know if you're getting the metaphor I'm throwing out here. But you absolutely could buy dance classes. You definitely could, which is a legitimate job.
Yeah.
And people should, you know, be safe while they're doing that job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Becky wants to get that job.
You get it?
I got
Is
it.
what I'm hearing.
I got it. I was somewhere else.
So good.
Maggie was still on like dance. She's like, yeah, they should be able to do tap.
And like contemporary is really important.
And you only dance on Friday night, so like easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be the second smoothest dancer that anyone's ever
You want to be a
danced
little
with.
rough, you know?
All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Enough of these. It's not a metaphor. What is it? A euphemism?
Yeah. You.
I mean, what do you think about Devin's advice of just shower?
That is great advice.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
If you feel like, you know, feel hot.
It's fast. That's what
fast.
I wanted to get
You
to.
feel
Is like, how can we expedite? Because like gaining confidence is like, okay, that's hard. Like it's important, but it's not gonna be a one night thing. I feel like the shower.
You can stick your arms
You
up
want the makeover
Yeah.
moment.
immediately. You
The
know?
makeover moment.
The transformation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shower.
Or maybe
Just
like
shower.
one outfit that makes you feel really hot.
Yeah, and have it like be fitting, like the right fit,
Yeah.
and like
New wig, you know?
New wig.
New wig, new jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, there was a really funny Am I the Asshole that I found
Yes.
that I would love to read to you.
Yes.
And I'm hoping I can read it out loud without laughing so hard I cry.
Yeah.
But it is related to sex and or smooth dancing. And or, okay. Maggie, you'll relate to this one because you just got married.
Okay.
You're planning your honeymoon.
La senora over here.
Senora. This is about honeymoons.
Oh, give me all the advice.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Am I the asshole for being honest about honeymoon sex? My fiance and I'm 26, he's 28, are taking an 8-day honeymoon in Brazil, which is where he's originally from. The trip has been in the works for a long time. And a few weeks ago, I learned that his parents were hoping to stop by and visit us during our honeymoon.
That's crazy.
And even asked to stay with us.
No.
We have rented a 3-bedroom place near a beach for 2 of the nights. I said absolutely not. And my husband agreed. He told them no, and that it's because we want our privacy. His parents, who I've grown very close to, sent me a separate text asking, in a lighthearted way, I thought, if it was a really big problem and if I agreed with him. And I said, yes, I did agree. His mom asked me why, and I was honest. I said, I want to be able to be open and free with him without thinking about house guests. And she said, so this is about sex. I thought she was still being lighthearted. And I replied,
oh no.
This is how you say this to your mother-in-law.
Oh no.
If I'm being honest,
Oh no.
I'm gonna fuck his brains out in every room of that house. To which she got no response. Oh, from her mother-in-law.
Oh,
So
that's
this has
not good.
become
That's not
a
good.
whole thing. My mother-in-law thinks I'm disrespectful. My father-in-law thinks I'm a sex monster of some kind. And my husband thinks it was way too far.
Oh no.
Am I the asshole? Do I owe them an apology?
How could you say that to them?
I'm also
Like even via text. Like how do you?
Yeah.
How do you feel comfortable saying I'm gonna fuck his brains out?
Becky's dying.
It flabbergasted me. I mean, it flabbergasted me that the mother-in-law wanted to stay. I was like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's
not okay.
That's too far.
Yeah.
She also brought up sex. She was like, well, is it about sex then? And I'm like, why would she bring that up?
Yeah.
Well, because she said they wanted their privacy. So then the mom was like, oh, this is just about sex.
Yeah.
But I could see how, because it sounded like they were texting.
Yeah.
How you could be like, lol. But really, it's not a lol.
Yeah.
No lols to be had here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that she said.
I mean,
fuck
could you
friends.
imagine saying that to Keith's mom?
I would fall on the ground. I would like die. I would be struck down by something.
I'd never be able to face my mother-in-law if I ever said that to her. Like
No.
No.
that'd
be. How do you come back from that?
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
Good thing you're already
know.
married.
Good thing the marriage license went through.
Yeah.
I one time said fucking in front of my grandmother, but not like so-and-so is fucking. I said something was so fucking stupid. And we all just kind of froze. It was me, my mom, my grandma, and we were all like,
Oh my gosh.
and my grandma just kind of looked up and I was like, oops. Oopsie. But I could never imagine saying fucking in the sex term.
Especially to her little baby boy.
An in-law.
It was too far. She
It
went
was
too far.
too far.
Yeah.
She went too
Done
far.
Too far.
She went too far.
The mother-in-law was definitely being an
100%.
asshole for wanting to come on a honeymoon. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, number 2, singling her out and texting her off thread is a little weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Especially since her son had told her that they weren't comfortable.
Well, she was trying to open a backdoor channel that then she could probably use the
Sneak her
rest of
way in.
her life, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe it's actually kind of a good thing because now she probably won't. So maybe she actually did save herself like a lot of, you know, tribulation and stuff of the mother-in-law trying to get other things behind the son's back.
Yeah. I mean,
now
it
she
sounds
probably
like
won't.
a boundary issue with the
Yeah.
mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a boundary issue. But I do not think that you should tell any of your in-laws that you're gonna fuck their children.
No.
You're gonna fuck their
brains
children's
out.
brains out.
No.
I think there was maybe a different way to word it. So maybe your humor was a little too extreme in the moment, and you should apologize for the language that you used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To apologize face to face or over text?
I feel like I would throw up.
I know. Just say
I
you're
would maybe
really
send a
excited to be
Voice
married.
memo.
Yeah.
Really excited.
really excited.
Really excited to be married. I'm so sorry I said that.
Yeah, I think I would
Yeah.
just explain like, so sorry, I thought we were joking.
Yeah.
I totally understand that was a very inappropriate joke.
I was drunk.
Yeah, something
Too many
along the lines
caipirinhas,
of like,
you know?
sorry.
I feel like something like that. She's just got to say an apology text because she's going to have to see these people,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, for the rest of her life.
And it's probably hard. They said his family lives in Brazil too. So like maybe there could be a little compromise where you go and like meet for dinner by the beach. But like
Yeah.
staying, I understand.
Right.
It's a little.
Or see them before, after, on the way in or out. Like,
Right.
don't interrupt the honeymoon time.
Exactly.
What would you say to Zach's mom if she said she wanted to come hang out on the honeymoon?
I'd be like, Zach, you know how to talk to your mom.
I would make
You
Eugene
tell
respond.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't. I would be like, yeah, Eugene, I decided, blah, blah. And if she pushed it again, I would like tell Eugene. I was like, you have to talk to your mom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't respond probably. I'd be like, you have to talk to her.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you have to manage the communication with your parents and they have to manage the communication with their parents. That's kind of how it needs to go.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Keith and I are too.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
like, those are your parents. I'm not your mother, so you need to take care of this.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah.
my parents grew up, because they were, they
Yeah.
got together when they were 16.
Yeah.
They're like, my mom's like, you have to be so respectful of like Keith's mom. You have to be like really good friends with her. Like, she's very, because that's how they grew up, was
Right.
being very, very close to their in-laws. And now I'm imagining my mom saying that thing to my grandma Dagmar. I'm just like, that would be insane. That would be absolutely psychotic to hear out of her mouth. She'd make Zach do it. What if she texted you though? What if this happened?
Singled me out.
She singled you out. She went off text and she's like, Maggie, I just really want to hang out with you guys. It'll only be for 2 days.
2 days is a long time. I could like understand if we're like traveling and we meet up because that's fun. Like traveling with people is fun. But on like such a monumental,
What's the text, Maggie? What's the text?
There's only one honeymoon.
be like, I'm so
There's only one
sorry.
honeymoon.
Like, I think that I would not say fuck your son's brains out. That is crazy. And I'm going to be, Margot sometimes listens to this podcast, so I will be mortified if she's listening right now.
Maggie's like straight whispering into the Is this Margot's invitation to come for 2 days? I think that's what I'm hearing.
Oh my God. No.
We just need to have Margaret come on the podcast. So you could tell
That's
her in
true.
person.
So you can tell her
role-play.
face to face.
No, I just gently be like, I think Zach's right. We'll figure out another time to hang out.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to focus on us
Yeah.
during this honeymoon. After this, stressful planning of a wedding, it's nice to hang out just us.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fuck. Imagining Maggie saying it now is tickling me.
They'd be like, did someone steal her phone?
really? Anyone saying this to like you saying it to Min? I would die.
Oh,
Or Eugene
my.
saying it to Betsy and Steve.
Gonna fuck your son's brains out.
You never
It's a
talk to your
lot.
parents about sex?
My parents?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You don't?
No.
No.
Do you? I was
Yeah.
like, Rainie
Yeah,
does.
I
do
feel
you?
like she's fine. She doesn't care.
She doesn't care
She's
about
really
what?
chill. I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll tell her about just like, I just pick her brain about like a situation.
I think that's cute though. Like I
Yeah.
I didn't have that relationship with my parents. We
Yeah.
didn't talk about sex. I didn't really even talk about dating with my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were like honestly surprised when I was like, here's Keith. I'm
You're like, I'm getting married.
dating him for almost a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
feel
was
like,
not very
my mom
open
is
about
like
that
25.
stuff.
I feel like her general age. My friends love her too. They're like,
but don't
Susan.
you think you're 35?
Yeah. So I'm kind of older. I'm her mom.
I actually love that rating. The times that I do talk to my mom about sex now are when she listens to Kelsey Dara's podcast.
Oh my God.
And she tells me the different different things that she learns.
Yeah.
That's cute.
She's learning a lot.
Yeah.
Kelsey's opening up her mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I feel like Kelsey Dara is making me rethink sex as like a concept. Because I'm like, was I repressed? Was I ever repressed growing up? Because I definitely don't know half the things she talks about.
Oh, no.
I mean, all of us think about sex education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know anything.
Nobody wants to touch it.
Yeah.
Especially like with book bans and stuff. Like nobody wants to touch it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you have to have friends that are like open to like talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Like my roommate Jesus in college. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
That's where I learned. I was like, one day he said, are we going to have to bleep this? How explicit should I be? He told me about rim jobs.
Yeah.
Oh.
He said rim job to me one day and I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what are you talking about? And then he explained it. He was like, and I was like, no, I have never heard this word
Now you have
before.
another job to do, Becky.
That's why they call them jobs, not parties. I had a friend in college who would say that. She was like, they're not called blow parties. They're called blow jobs. And that always tickled
a job.
me. Yeah, it's not a party.
Oh my God.
Does it have to be your passion?
Yeah. I feel like we've reverted to like our childhood ways of being tickled by sex things. Well, it's also because we so rarely talk about them on this podcast. Yeah. So it makes us giggle.
Yeah.
It's true.
I feel like we rarely talk about sex though, like even privately.
Yeah.
I feel like Eugene's the only one who will be like, you guys boned last night? If we're like on a trip. He's always the one who says something. The rest of us are like, oh,
You
no.
bone while I was here,
You all just cuddle at night. Everyone spoons.
Just sit there not touching, watching the TV.
Separate beds. Like I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
I Love Lucy they were in a bed together, right?
Well, that was the first time a pregnant woman was on screen.
They were separate, and then I think
They pushed them together.
Pushed them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of TV,
We're going to do a bracket, Rainie?
we're doing a bracky.
I love a bracky. Love a bracky. Okay, guys. So Rainie has compiled what we now know are her favorite sex scenes
Wow.
of all time, and we're gonna bracket style this shit. And I'm now just looking at it and seeing the Lion King.
I know. I was like, how? I don't.
You might have to refresh my memory on
Is it
that.
when like Nala,
Yeah.
Simba like push each other and they're rolling around?
And then in the clouds,
Okay.
you can see in the clouds it says sex.
What?
I never knew that.
I guess
it does.
And he lies down exhausted.
Oh,
Disney.
my God.
Okay, maybe we were repressed. We never saw this.
Oh my god, the Call Me by Your Name.
We didn't know what to see.
Okay, so the first two that we're putting up against each other are that scene that Rainie just described from The Lion King, or the cunnilingus in Don't Worry, Darling. I have an opinion on the Don't Worry, Darling sex, but it is a spoiler alert for anyone who's not seen Don't Worry, Darling.
I think it's okay.
It's okay, right? It's been
that
months.
movie does not make sense.
No, it was an insane movie that made no sense.
I mean, virtual world.
It's a virtual world. She didn't know she was in a virtual world.
That's
so
true.
in my mind, I feel like Olivia Wilde really hyped it up that like this movie was really going to focus on female pleasure. And I'm like, well, if Harry Styles is going down on her in a virtual world that she doesn't know that she's in, that's not consensual.
Yeah.
So it made me like look at it and go like, oh, that's not hot to me.
Yeah.
That's more
Even
like
if she gave
icky.
consent in the virtual world?
Yeah, because she didn't know she was in a virtual world.
That's true. Well, they did kind of like erase her memory,
Yeah.
right? Like her past life, she didn't even know she had.
Yeah.
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 Well, this is where it doesn't make any sense. So she's in the hospital bed. So is he? What is happening?
Who knows?
That's the thing.
Who knows?
It's all in the mind.
Confusing, and so
It
that's
doesn't make
why
sense.
I
It's in the
think
mind. Yeah.
The Lion King.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I feel like we can't argue against that.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
We can't argue against non-consensual sex. Oh.
Yeah, yucky, yucky. All right, guys. Next, the iconic scene from Call Me by Your Name, where Timothée Chalamet fucks a peach, and then also fucks Armie Hammer, or The Notebook, where they kiss in the rain, and then they go back and they fuck in the house.
And it's repressed. Like 10 years they've wanted to have
10
sex.
years they wanted to have sex. Thoughts, opinions. You know I got them.
I mean, when you think about iconic sex scenes do you think about The Notebook? Like we've already referenced "Call Me by Your Name" like twice in this
Team
episode.
Peach. I'm Team Peach
So
all the
I'm
way.
gonna say "Call Me by Your Name."
Yeah.
I think this one's hard for me because I
I mean,
remember.
you are. Is it because you're a plum girl?
I am a plum girl. I love my plums. I love my nectarines. And the way I remember my feelings, because nobody taught me about sex until my sister was like, what you're doing is nasty. And like what the Catchlit Church was saying was nasty.
Yeah.
So me and Peach, I don't know, kind of gives me the ick.
It brought up a lot for you when you saw the peach.
Yeah.
Did you know the peach scene was coming?
No, I didn't read the book.
You were surprised.
I was
by it.
surprised.
Okay, wait, Becky, why do you like the peach one though?
I just think the peach one was like a hotter scene. It was just like a sexier scene. And I also think it was, like Matt said, it's culturally like people got to watch the way they eat peaches now.
Yeah.
You know? People got to watch it. Otherwise, you're going to be, call me by your name.
Call me by your name.
Call me by your name. And I think The Notebook was good, but maybe it's the difference between R-rated sex and PG-13 sex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Because Call Me By Your Name was R, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
I think so.
I have no idea.
All right, 2 for 1. So Call Me by
So
Your
we
Name.
can watch them all.
Okay, so we're Call Me By Your Naming versus The Lion King. So a cartoon where 2 lions have sex. Maybe. Or Timothée Chalamet fucking a peach and then fucking Armie Hammer.
It's gotta be "Call Me by Your Name."
And then Armie Hammer eats the peach.
I mean, then you're starting to get into like bestiality and stuff. You know what I mean? Let's just like
That's true.
and it's also a cartoon, so you're and they're mating and not having. It's like a different thing. You know?
They're
So it's like-
mating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lions are mating. They're not like they don't have. So you're putting your own human emotions and sex attachments onto these animals.
So I feel like we have to give it to Call Me By Your Name.
It's "Call Me by Your Name" for sure.
Peaches,
Has
peaches,
to be.
peaches wins.
Peaches, peach.
All right.
Maggie's not happy.
Maggie wanted the lions.
I don't know if I would have gone with the lions. I want
That one, she's like, didn't do it.
didn't do it for me.
All right. The next bracket we have, we're going Iconique with Titanic. The hand up against the window.
Yeah.
Steamy sex
I
in a
loved
car.
that scene.
Yeah.
Versus Bridgerton after they're married.
I don't remember it that well, so I'm gonna have to go with Titanic.
They're just having sex all the time.
I remember they're having sex all the time, and I'm pretty sure, doesn't she like keep having sex with him when he says he doesn't want to have sex because he doesn't want to have kids?
Yeah.
But she like makes him finish.
Right.
Left a sour taste. That season of Bridgerton, not my fave.
Not your fave.
Not my fave. I'm a Jonathan Bailey girl through and through.
Oh, yeah.
And like when you think about Bridgerton, is one of the first things you think about is the sex scenes in Bridgerton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
What do you think about?
Who's the lady the girl who
Lady
like
Whistledown?
the lady Whistledown? That's what I think of.
You think of the girl from Dairy Girl?
Yes, I love her so much. That's what I think of when I think of Bridgerton.
Yeah.
And like
I think
the
about
costuming
the
and stuff.
scoring.
Honestly, the sex scenes are one of like the last things I think about for Bridgerton. Where Titanic,
You are
it's one of the first
out
ones.
of your
Okay,
mind.
wait. We're out of your Titanic. You think of sex, but Bridgerton, you don't.
Leave
Yeah.
a comment down below
Yeah.
if when you
Yeah.
hear Bridgerton, you think sex.
Yeah.
And if you hear Titanic, do you think sex?
Yeah.
So leave a ship or a scroll emoji
Oh my god.
to let us know which one you think. Because I think we're deep. Rainie and I are both team. Sex is the first thing I think about with Bridgerton.
Well, then who's winning this part of the bracket? Titanic.
Titanic.
Or Bridgerton?
I mean, for me, it's Titanic.
See?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, we're also breaking down like what's the better sex scene. I think
Yeah.
the better sex scenes are
I see.
Titanic.
Yeah.
Put your hands on me, Jack. Like, come on.
Put your hands on me, Jack.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Easy
one wins.
win. Easy win.
Easy win. Next, we're going on with
Oh my gosh.
Twilight.
What's this picture of, Rainie?
That's him breaking the bed.
Oh, that's right. I was like, what am I? I was like, Robert Pattinson, hello. So we have the part in Twilight. This is number 3, right? Or number 2, where they get married. I know he leaves her in one.
I wasn't really a twihard.
We gotta
I hate to
ask.
say that.
We gotta ask.
I'll text
Desiree.
I don't
I'll
remember.
Text Desiree. When do they have sex? So because he's a vampire,
Yeah.
and she's not.
So strong.
He's so strong. He has to have
Break
sex with
something.
her very gently. But he breaks a bed.
Because of his passion.
Because of his passion and his love. So
That's
that's
Real
one.
dichotomy there. Yeah.
And then the other one is, this movie's so funny. Easy A, but it's the fake sex scene.
Okay, so that
where
one-
she's like slapping the
yeah,
wall and
yeah,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh yeah. What do you guys like more?
Well, obviously not the fake one.
I think the fake one is more enjoyable to watch. Like, as a
We have a battle.
Wow.
Are you standing your ground,
obviously
Maggie?
not.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't enjoy it if someone was faking it with me.
Well, they're not faking with each other.
That's cute. That's cute, Maggie.
They're faking it in the room next door. You know.
They're both in on it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Easy A?
I don't remember it.
But
I have
you'll
seen
like
it.
It's really cute. I think it's with, isn't she with?
Pen.
Yeah, the kid that, no, she's
No,
not
not
with
in
Penn
this scene.
Badgley. She's with the kid who's gay.
Yeah.
And she's trying to help him out at like a party.
Oh.
Because she's already quote unquote easy now. She's the smooth dancer.
She is the smooth
She-
dancer.
She's the smooth dancer.
She was too attractive.
She was too attractive. She was number one attractive.
Oh, she was too attractive at the party.
Yeah.
Irene.
Irene.
Classic
What's
Irene.
her name?
move.
Irene in this.
Oh, also a Stanley Tucci movie.
Also Stanley Tucci. They
We
should have done
love-
it for Tucci. I mean, this is tying it all together.
Oh.
Yeah. This is where they couldn't put it in Tucci month. We're putting it in our Tucci sex month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Tucci and sex are synonymous.
Well,
All right, man.
so what's-
Are we breaking a bed or are we faking sex?
I think we're breaking a bed.
Breaking a bed?
I
Matthew?
said faking it.
Faking it?
Yeah.
Becky's going to fake it. What are you going to do?
Which one?
I think that's a better scene overall.
But we're not judging it based on like what's a more fun scene to watch.
Based on best sex scene.
I guess the best sex scene, I'm going to have to go then with the bed.
Yeah.
But don't you want to see a fake sex scene too to like mix it up?
Mix it up a little bit, but you have to remember this is going to go against Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah. Also, Twilight is too, but.
But at least they're two actual sex scenes.
And how do you know it's going to go by Call You By Your Name? We saw Titanic in the running.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I erased Titanic erasure.
Wow. Becky,
Titanic erasure.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to
Fine.
go with, I am Team Maggie and I'm going with Twilight.
Okay.
So now,
Titanic is going to be Twilight.
Titanic versus Twilight.
Titanic.
Titanic.
See,
It
Titanic was
must.
going to beat it anyway.
Okay, so now the real question. Is it hotter to fuck a peach or to fuck in a carriage?
Or to slap a window.
Slap a windy. Again, we're going rated R sex versus PG-13 sex.
Wait,
Wait, was it?
was Titanic
was it
R?
PG-13?
Yeah.
Really? She was
Pretty sure.
That was a devastating movie.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe that does make sense. She was
Yeah.
fully naked also.
PG-13?
Wow.
Yeah, PG-13.
Wow. I just recently saw it and I was like, this is really
For the first
dark. Yeah. Also, here's my thing about Titanic. I think that I think the raft, it's about buoyancy, not space. And everybody's so worried about the raft, and I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What do you got? Titanic
Yeah.
or the peach?
This is hard.
Peaches or Titanic? I also feel like the Titanic scene was kind of short, whereas Call Me By Your Name is a little bit longer of a scene, and a little more lustful of a scene.
yeah.
I mean, also, the Call Me By Your Name one was gay, so I'm going to go with that one.
Well, I don't want to be homophobic, so I'm going to go with that one too.
Well, shit. I can't.
Best sex scene of all time.
Best sex
wow.
scene.
I feel like that one's up there. I mean, Matt
It
was
is
right.
really
We
good.
did reference it twice
Yeah.
before we even got to the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us today. This was our first of 4 episodes all about sex. We're going to have Kelsey Dar on to hear her salacious stories. And then we have a healthcare professional to be the only person not giggling in the room. So until next time, please remember to pee after sex.
Pee after sex.
Tip your servers. Be nice to people. Be nice to yourself. And be an ally.
Wee.
True.
Bye.
Bye.